Look, we're in such cool colors. We're like in a blue, indigo, purple.
Yes, it's a very spring color.
You guys got my text.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Yes,
Keep it blue.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
it blue, babies.
You're rocking the nails are blue too.
Yeah, you got the whole thing. Those shoes are amazing.
Thank you so much.
Pradino.
Yeah, they went to the White House and now they're here.
They're at the White House?
Yeah, they were. Well, different presidency.
I was going to say when.
Yeah.
Is that why they're dirty?
Exactly.
You have to run through the rose garden. I'm a little nervous about our guest today.
Tough guest today.
Yeah.
I'm going in, I'm sweating.
And randomly, without letting the audience into too much into our lives, randomly, we were having a light kind of money stress conversation before we started recording. And now we have a person coming on to talk to us about money. And I'm like, just going to be like, oh, I'm hungover and like stressed about money. And now I got to go lock eyes with a financial person and go off.
I wonder if there will be super fans of this podcast that will be able to chart when each of us is hungover during which episodes.
Yeah.
Because we have been trading off.
We've been kind of flipping off.
Yeah.
Because we only got drunk together one night in this run, but we didn't have to record the next day.
Exactly. We've been, and I feel like that's kind of the key to the success is like one of us is drunk driving.
Someone needs to be able to like, okay, let's do this intro.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no Deweys over here, you know?
It's a complicated subject for us. It's something that, you know,
I'm not good at.
Not good at it. And we're sort of like a little averse to money because it seems antithetical to creativity in a way. So it's kind of complicated. I grew up in the time of when it was tacky to talk about money. Me too.
And my parents didn't have a lot of money, so it was even tackier to talk about it because it was like they didn't talk about it.
What my parents talked about all the time was how fucking broke we were, and that was like another version of depressing that I try not to do.
We lived in a world where you just couldn't talk about it, but you knew you didn't have it. So it was like we just didn't talk about like vacations or restaurants. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was like it just wasn't a thing that existed in my life.
But now we're here spending money like fucking sieves in our 40s.
I'm spending money like the AI war is coming tomorrow.
Hey,
you know, and
you might not be right. Hey, by the time this episode airs, the AI super soldiers might just be playing this in their barracks and laughing.
I hope so. I hope they like it.
I hope they buy gummies. All right. Let's talk to Mrs. Dow Jones herself.
Miss Haley Sachs.
Yes.
Miss Dow Jones.
Mrs. Dow Jones.
Married to the Dow.
Is there a Mr. Dow Jones?
There's not a Mr. yet.
You're just married to the Dow?
I'm married to my financial dependent.
So how are you doing after yesterday's bloodbath in the market?
We're recording this in early April, and shit lightly hit the fan.
Yeah, but I feel like there's more to go, right?
Oh, for sure. We're not at the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm like such a long-term investor and I'm young. So like my time horizon is so long that it doesn't bother me that much. But I'm definitely so stressed with like the implications of all the tariffs and, you know, the rise in the cost of living. And also my audience is fully losing their mind. It doesn't matter how long you tell people, like everything that goes down will come up. Like, you know, history will repeat itself. The market is circular, like whatever. It doesn't matter. People still lose their mind when they lose money.
Well, yeah.
This is where I'm like one of the few times I'm benefiting from not being.
Me too. I'm not in the market at all.
Okay, cool. Love that for you guys.
Yeah.
I have a Roth. I have an IRA. That's about all I have. So it's just technically tied to the market and probably don't want to look at it today, but I'm not.
Or maybe you do. Maybe just rip that Band-Aid off. You know?
And I have.
Hello, Mr. JB Morgan. What happened?
And I have a Submariner and a GMT.
Oh, love that. Okay,
and that's pretty much what I own.
That's your retirement plan?
That's my retirement plan.
Watches?
Is to sell those off eventually. And I have 3 children and I'm an actor.
That.
And so like, you know,
we need to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing to do about it now.
I know. We were sort of in it. Well, you're like Carrie Bradshaw. You like your money where you can see it on your wrist.
Exactly. 100%. I am Carrie Bradshaw.
You are literally, people should say that more.
100%. No, I always thought of you as a Samantha.
I have Samantha energy, honey.
I always thought of you. I 100%.
And I always thought of you, naked.
Reddit was, I was looking you up, and Reddit was like, he was going through a hard time financially. Like, they were like, I was trying to learn things. Like, what were you talking like a year ago about your finances?
Reddit said you were going through a tough time financially?
They were like, he was talking about it, and I was like...
Reddit is fucking crazy. Like, I'll just be like, it sucks. Like, on Action Boys, we'll just be like, the entertainment industry sucks, or whatever, or something, and someone's like, he's dying. You know?
Yeah.
They jump to some serious conclusions. One time someone's like, it seems like he was zooming from a hotel. I hope everything is okay. It's like, yes, I work on the road.
So just to let you know on that too, we don't have a Reddit. We don't check in with anybody. We try not to let our audience group together anywhere for danger reasons.
But if you're on there,
you're trying to not have a community.
Yes, exactly.
So punk rock.
We're trying to let them have a community if they want one.
If they want one, but we don't want to know.
You don't want to be part of it.
Pass nothing on to us. Our egos can't handle that.
I'm just not interested in
facilitating
any sort of like group thing.
Yeah. This is just for you.
So everything I do is just for me.
I love that, except for the kids.
Everything I do is just for me.
I don't think I've ever done anything professionally that wasn't just for me, and I didn't think about the money later.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, even when you were just starting?
Especially when I was just starting.
But you must have had like odd jobs.
Yeah, I was also lucky. I booked a commercial right out of college.
Oh my God, commercial
Twix.
money is what you need.
So
I remember when you got the Twix commercial.
So I was almost like a child actor.
Smooth sailing.
Yeah, almost like a child actor in that
Twix?
way. It was Twix, and it was 2 years long.
Yeah.
No.
And this was like 04,
God's
05 right
plan
away.
vibes.
Yeah.
It was right when I graduated college.
Yeah.
Like right away.
That is, wow, you are blessed.
Yeah, truly. So when that happened, I had like rent paid for 2 years,
but you weren't the type to see the paycheck, see that Twix money and be like, okay, like daddy's got the cheddar, like let me go, like we're gonna get some piercings, whatever.
Well, yes, I was always bad with money, but no, because at the time I was so driven to like
you want to
make it that I would like pay rent 6 months in advance.
Oh,
with
so
the
you could
check.
lock yourself in.
So
That's a little something. That's a little something that's different about our business. Is that like if you get a big paycheck, it's not like what should I purchase or what should I invest. It's like 6 months of no stress.
Exactly.
Like you're looking at it of like I'm always like what's the word I'm looking for? Like. Spreading it out over the course.
Amortize.
Amortize. Thank you. I just learned that word it's
such a fun word. It's sometimes hard to pronounce. Like depends on the day. Like
I was gonna say mortalize, and I knew that was wrong.
Immortalize?
I was gonna mortalize.
Make that money live, baby.
This is our financial podcast now that we said amortize.
Yes. We're financial geniuses.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. So when
it's about not having to be stressed again at this point. Now, eventually, I guess you can make not to make a counter argument for you, but if you had money in an investment that you knew was growing on its own, that would help.
I mean, I was just saying the other day,
it's cost of living. Like it's like I have a friend who is a TV writer, and I've helped him with his finances, and it's the same thing where it's like, we're not planning for 3 months out. It's like a 6 month spread, even 9 months, I said to him, because he like, it's so inconsistent.
Right. Which is really what I feel like I had that mindset early on and have like kind of stuck with that, where it's
20
like
years into
20 years into living that way, where it's like you kind of have to live 6 months to a year in advance.
So like sort of prevents you from ever being too lush.
Kind of, in a lot of ways, which is why I've never had the luxury to like be in the market. You know what I mean?
The one time the 1 year I did so well that I made some investments. I wish instead I held on to that money and bought another 6 months of not working.
Well, like I bought a house.
There you go.
I bought a house.
That's a good one.
Was like instead of going like. You know, I could have been living renting and had much more savings.
Where's your house, in LA?
No, it's here in New York City.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
We bought a zoo.
He bought a zoo, which turned out to be a bad investment. I told you shouldn't have been talking to Cameron Crowe.
I thought the animals came for free.
Yeah.
No, you can get a zoo, but then you got to find animals.
And you still had to rent it to Matt Damon? Let's start at the beginning. So how do you come to this the idea? Because like money to me is scary.
The room goes so quiet.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
We need to also talk about the fact that neither of you are in the market and that you called it a luxury to be in the market. Like, we need to dig into that a little bit more.
Let's unpack that. Let's get in there.
Yeah, because it's like interesting to view that. Like, it's like you're separating yourself from investors, like seeing them as like this different class or something. That like separating yourself from people who are growing wealth in the market a little bit almost.
Right. Where technically anyone could be.
Yeah, it definitely is democratized, but also like looking at it as a luxury versus as a necessity, because eventually you will want to stop working, right?
No.
Never.
I really would like to die on a set.
You want to die on a set? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, that's another advantage of our job
insurance.
is that like you can be 71 and do a sitcom, and it's not like you're in the mines.
And truly also, so much of our job is spent not working that you
kind of amortize retirement over the course.
Yeah, so like I'm retired right now.
Yeah, you're retired right now.
Yeah.
That's actually Boca.
I've been semi-retired since I was 22.
Yeah, and
not by choice.
Yeah, and like this year's been kind of slow, so I've been retired for about 9 months.
Kind of slow, except we've done 30 fucking episodes of a podcast.
Yeah, but this isn't real entertainment. Podcast, this is like...
Well,
hopefully no one's watching this.
No one's watching, no one's listening. This is like, also we're recording in Times Square. It's like the asshole of the world.
We're recording in Bryant Park.
Which is even worse.
It's the taint of the world.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Did your parents invest? Like, what was their relationship with money?
No.
What about you? How'd you guys grow up?
My parents were bad with money. We were poor. And then I was never taught. And like reading about you and what you do, I was like, I wish that existed in the year 2000 when I was like 18 or whatever. And I could like, because now I'm like, my mom was like, you got to start a 401k. And I'm like, I'm a PA that brings home $267 a week.
I'm 43 years old. I don't know what that means. I don't know what anything means.
$401,000.
I'm so infantilized with money, and I have a financial advisor in a way, and I've done that on purpose because I try to stay like creatively in a world where that's not part of it, because the in our job, truly, when the pressure of money comes into,
that's when you make some weird choices.
What I'm doing, not only do I make weird choices, the work is not as good. The work suffers. I find myself hating what I'm doing, and then I'm not getting paid anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like I try to take as much thought of money out of my life as possible.
But what about viewing money though as security?
I don't. I don't know why. I don't. I view...
Well, I think I view money as security. If I had like a big if I had like a big wad, I would definitely want to invest some of it.
Yeah. I guess I also just never had a big wad. Yeah, you know, like I would love to know what that feels like. Like, you know, my career, I think our careers are similar in that.
They're small wads. Like there's like
it's
not
above
small.
average size wad, I've been told.
They're pretty good wads, but it's like it's not fuck you money.
Right.
Never.
Yeah, it's never fuck you, but it's like screw you money.
Yeah.
A little, for a few months at least.
We also get into some complex territory because we're gamblers.
Right, yeah, we like to gamble.
Casinos? Yeah.
Oh, what are you guys betting on?
Craps.
Just sports.
Yeah.
It was craps, blackjack, slots.
Coin
flips, whether or not
Muay Thai,
whether or not one of us would wear a certain color shirt.
Okay, good. Oh, so this is there's like a Pally market on the fashion.
Yes, we have prop bets in our life.
I gotta get in there.
I like what's a Pally market?
Oh, my Pally market is like a betting market.
Oh, hell
yeah. And
which is, sorry to jump around, but is this outpouring of gambling, is this good or bad for the economy, you think?
Well, I mean, it's like so bad for the people because it's so impulsive and obviously like if you have enough money to gamble, you have enough money to invest.
Oh, truly. No, I looked at how much I lost this year gambling and I could have invested.
Yeah.
Well, I just deferred depositing to my IRA because I don't have the money, but I'm like, so I got like an 8-month extension or some shit. And I'm like, I did go to Vegas 3 times.
Yeah.
It's like,
got a 4th on the way.
Yeah, and we're going
to Vegas.
I love Vegas.
Let's go.
I love it.
But I will literally go. I'm addicted to gambling.
Do you want to come with us?
Yes, I will literally come with you. I'm fully addicted to gambling. I have one rule with gambling. I will never gamble my own money.
Oh.
So I will gamble anyone else's money, but I can grow it. Like you just go, you're cute, whatever, you're having fun at the table. And people are so addicted, it's actually bad, that they will have loans out from the casinos. Like I'll sit next to a guy, he'll have a $30,000 loan from the casino. $30,000, whatever. Oh, I'll deal in this girl. I want her to sit next to me. And then I'm there for 3 hours.
Okay, I'm so
Yes,
this is so rude of me to do,
I can't do it. When I was
uninviting
19, I realized I could never gamble.
Yeah.
Like I went to the Bahamas and I was gambling and I couldn't stop taking money out. So I said, I'm not allowed to do that. And then I stopped for a lot of years. And then I was in Morocco randomly, which has a lot of good casinos. And my friend was there and he was like, I'll pay for you. And I was like, this is the loophole.
Yeah.
So what if you look like us?
It's kind of a little different if you're like
It's
a tall, statuesque brunette.
Different for a guy. But I will say that I'm obsessed with Vegas and I love gambling.
Yeah,
we need to get like an old buff sugar daddy gay guy who just keeps giving us money and we're like, thank you, Papa.
Exactly.
She kicks him on the cheek and then run off to the crab
like Walton Goggins
What do you play?
to run us in on leashes.
100%. There's a type for everyone.
According to my DMs, I'm some people's type.
Oh, I'm a lot of people's type.
Sure.
I'm a lot of people's type.
What kind of DMs are you guys getting?
I'm getting a lot of people with bear or cub in their name.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
And mine are creditors.
Oh, good. Okay, love that.
Which maybe you could help me with.
Yeah, love. So what is like
saying,
a normal salary like for you guys?
That's the thing. There is no salary.
What's the biggest paycheck that you've ever gotten? And this,
I don't really want to talk about that.
Okay.
I'm
trying to get viral clips here. This is what was going to sell the show. People are going to tune in.
No. I'm actually want our show to fail.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, I'll tell you this. There's no need for us to be financially transparent because we're just not on that level. Like the truth of the matter is out there. Like you can know how much money we have by how long our television shows have run and our you know what I mean, like
the frequency of them.
You know how much money I have.
You can look.
Where does that come? Like, I feel like there is from you guys. Like, there's an identity in sort of being like it would change your personality almost if you took more control of your finances. Like it's like rooted sort of.
I think
it's sort of like a fun. It feels like it's part of the whole vibe is being sort of like, I love to gamble. Like, I don't invest. Like, I'm going to, defer my IRA. And it's like, so where's that come from?
I think part of that is if we pay attention too much, I might become obsessed with it.
Agreed.
And I might be like, watching
I think you guys
ticker.
could be a day traders.
Yes.
Agreed. And I don't
give me
want
25 monitors, 6 of them. I'll be gooning to fucking.
I always say everything in your life should be exciting. Your relationships, your career, your,
But
outfits.
I feel fully excited. Like
But investing should be boring.
It's just
okay, sorry, that's the full mantra.
Where I'm like,
investing should be boring.
That has been the savior for me with because I have the same. I'm ADHD. I'm compulsive. I was not the financial person who's like, I was 10 years old hustling my lemonade stand. Like I'm like, no.
Don't love
like
the accent, but
Well, she had that accent when she was 10.
Okay, that was your child accent.
Exactly, that's my child accent. A lot of children are born with that accent.
Okay, great. No problem.
Thank you. But no, I was so bad with money. And then when I sort of changed my mindset to that with the investing of no, I am not looking for anything except for that 8 to 10% over time return. It has made things so much more relaxed and normalized for me.
Okay, wait, let's dive into this a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you?
But by the way, then I still got addicted because it's like I put $300 in crypto 6 years ago and now it's up to almost $4,000.
Right.
So it's like you see that and it makes you go crazy, but then it's like that's only 5 to 10% of my portfolio is in risky. 90% is just 8 to 10%. Give me boring.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Like that's all I want.
So what are boring for our listeners who are younger and maybe looking to make some investments or who haven't done anything yet and are like, shit, I have an extra few grand laying around. What would you start us on? And again, nothing on this podcast is prescriptive. We're not telling you what to do. You cannot sue us.
This is full financial advice. Yeah. The two of them, you can take them to court, whatever you want.
Right, yeah.
They will also pay for your investment.
Let's say I sell one of my watches, right? Let's say I take my vintage Breitling Top Time from 1960.
Okay.
And we get $5,000 for it.
Dang. Okay. Well, the first thing that I would do is almost like a pregame for investing. I would have to make sure that your finances were set up so that you could start investing because the market moves in cycles. So like the first thing you need to do is have, for most people, a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. But if you're in your industry and you have unstable income, emergency funds are really subjective to what your vocation is. So like if you work in an industry where, it's very easy to get a new job, you don't have dependents, you can easily hustle something up, 3 months might be fine. 6 months, if maybe it's a little bit harder. But if you're in, the entertainment industry where jobs really are few and far between, but when you do get them, they are more lucrative.
You might want a 12-month buffer.
You might need 12 months. You have to go with your gut and see, okay, what feels comfortable to me? So you would need that much in a high yield savings account, which is separate from your regular savings account at your bank, which gets like 0.01% interest. You are earning pennies.
You can get one of those online savings accounts that are now at least up to like 3.5.
Exactly. It's a high yield savings account. And they're amazing too, because they're separate from your bank account. So like you're not going to open your bank account and be like, oh, look at all that cash I've got. Like,
and you can't also look at Emigrant Direct and be like, let me take $1,000 out right now. It's like a little bit more difficult than that.
Yeah, most of them it takes like 24 hours, but it's like still, but it's good because if you put, say your emergency fund is $30K, that's how much you need for whatever, 6 months or $30K. If you put that in the market, if I'd put that in the market 6 months ago, and today I tried to take it out, it might be at 18K or 19K. And then I'm screwed because that's like my lifeline and I've just lost money. But the market over 7 years, that's usually the market cycle, 6 to 8 years, it'll go up and down, but ultimately trend upwards.
How can you tell when you're at the first year of that cycle? Like
when you put it in.
Oh, so that cycle's
7 years no matter when you start.
Yeah. It'll go up.
That 7 years is personal. It's not like the market is taking 7 years to.
You don't have to time the market. Like none of this is rocket science. Like it's literally start today. And if you need that money that you're investing in, anything earlier than 6 to 8 years, then you would put it in something different than the stock market. Maybe you're putting it in a CD, which is a certificate of deposit. Maybe you're putting it in a money market account. Like you're putting it in another.
What is a money market account? I have one and I have some money in it. It's like. It feels like it's like an overflow checking account when checking is doing pretty well. I feel like.
What do you just put your
my
money?
Account put some extra money in the right? Money market account.
Yeah, money. That's great.
What is that?
Yeah, a money market account is just like a place that you can put money that you're going to get a higher yield than a savings account.
Oh, okay.
So,
how much can you put in? What's like the
biggest thing with financial planning is, first of all, it's completely personal. So it depends on like where you're at, but it's also all about your risk profile and your time horizon. So that's why I would say.
When you say time horizon, I think you've said that before. What are we saying here? What does that mean?
I mean, because
it means like you wouldn't put like that money in that you were putting in the money market account. You have to know, like everything that you do has to have a why. So like, why are you putting in there? Are you just putting in there because you don't know what else to do with it? Or are you putting in there because that's your emergency fund, or you're
laundering?
Or you're laundering, exactly. Or you need it for
that time
bedding.
Horizon can change because like Matthew McConaughey, it was like a minute, but like for his kids down on Earth, it was like 20 years
for Coop,
yeah,
for Cooper,
and so it's like
Casey Affleck,
so it can really change a lot, right?
You're talking about the time dilation in Interstellar.
Sorry,
did Matthew McConaughey come on your show and talk about
money? No, I was thinking about the movie Interstellar.
Not yet, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
but we would have you, and I think the episode would come out. All right.
Is that a big cringe for you guys? Like when you see people in your industry taking on these advertisements that you're like, what are you doing?
I got no judgment for taking on ads because that's money.
Well, it's like
No, I think there's a line. Like I think if you are like launching 3 different of your own companies, you don't also need to, and you're a movie star, maybe like leave a little something for other people.
I agree with that. I also think similarly to like, this is going to be, I don't believe in like multi-billionaires, and stuff. Like I believe like they should be taxed. And
you should just have $999,999,999, and any dollar more you get over that, it gets chopped up and sent to poor people. But if you can't live on $999 million.
I understand the open market and stuff and all that, but I think like, these people like hundreds of billions of dollars who are richer than countries and aren't taxed is a real issue for me in that way. So,
and it's like at that point you have these full teams of like the tax code is getting rich is so much about understanding taxes.
Exactly.
And they have like full teams that just literally know how to game Uncle Sam.
Right. And so you have like people, like the Elon Musks of the world who are like, not paying taxes. That is where like, I don't care if you could, like, I'm not necessarily for a cap on your wealth, but what I am for is that your taxes should be proportionate to the money you make, because that is how we've all signed up for that. And if you know what I mean? Like, that's what we're doing here in this country.
If like a third grade teacher's get creamed on her $80,000 a year paycheck, like
then you have to get creamed.
It's like $800 billion.
Yeah, it's
well, that's why it's good though to invest in those tax advantage accounts, because it brings down your taxable income, and it's something that anyone could do. Like your Roth IRA
is pre-tax or whatever.
No, Roth IRA you're putting in tax money. Yeah, but like 401k you're putting in pre-tax money, and then you're paying taxes on it when it comes out. Yeah. So it's like, but do you want to know the craziest billionaire tax hack?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Did you know that if you buy a sports team, which like rich people are doing, billionaires do, 90% of it is a tax write-off?
Right.
How the fuck is that possible?
Isn't that insane? So Steve Ballmer, who owns the Clippers, paid like $2 billion for them.
And then if you like cheer loud in your seat, you get a little bit of a discount.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That to me is a wild one.
Yeah, all that stuff is wild. So anyways, what I was saying was like the line for like celebrity endorsements and stuff, to me, it starts to cross that when you are like Jon was saying, like Matthew McConaughey is shilling for like 5 different AI companies. Yeah, right. And like we don't know yet if that's gonna kill the world, or you know what I mean? Yeah. And so like I love Matthew McConaughey, but when I see the 5th AI commercial, part of me does go like, oh, Vay, give it a rest. Yeah. I mean, his new movie looks amazing, and I can't wait to see it, and it won't stop me from paying the money to see it. Right. So it's like it is hypocritical, especially coming from the legit face of Jimmy John's sandwiches.
Right. Yeah, but that's a slay.
Slay King. Slay King.
Yeah, Slay King. Do you get free Jimmy John?
I do for life.
Oh my gosh.
We gotta go right now.
You would get the Jersey Mike's money. That would be the best.
I think I'm gonna, this campaign's going well, so knock on wood, maybe if we re-up it, I can make some investments finally.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I'd like to deposit 1 pound of super sock.
Yeah.
Do you got to take your friends there too?
Yeah, I have a card.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we could all go. I could take you.
Wow, I would love that. Okay, when we go to Vegas.
Yeah, well, that's going to be all we can eat if things don't go well.
Yeah. If I don't get a couple of hard 10s, we're fucking out of here.
That's good financial security to know, like, no matter what happens in the economy, like
I have
tariffs.
sandwiches. My family has sandwiches.
Yeah, your family has sandwiches.
It's good. But it's like...
Can you update your will so that card is left to me? In case I
would be shocked if you outlive me, but yes. But
so with your kids, how do you teach them about money?
My wife is really good with money.
Oh, explain that.
She is just good with money.
Does she put you like on does she watch what you're spending?
Well, I have a financial advisor who watches what I'm spending and often yells at me, and then I will rein it in, and then you know what I mean? But I that's the setup that
What's like the things that you would spend on that would be too much? Like you've talked about watches.
Watches or guitar. Like
What's like the biggest purchase you've ever made? Besides your house?
A watch.
What was it?
It was a 1985 AP Royal Oak in two-tone, 18-karat gold.
Oh, you still have? That's insane. Do you still have it?
I do still have it.
And like with investing in watches, how did you get into that?
I really love like watches. Watches are really interesting to me because they're one of the last like really manual moving things that we have. It's really analog.
Yeah.
And it really is like on your wrist, like you can hear my watch like clicking time.
Yeah.
And I really depend on that because my phone dies all the time. I'm scatterbrained and I just really like it. And then I became interested in like the different movements and the different dials and the different ways that they're made and the history behind them and the stories behind them. And you're always
putting that shit on. So
yeah, and I'm always wearing stuff. And I geek out about it the same way that I do guitars because I'm a musician. So when I'm like making a project, I, will be like, oh, this sound from this 1965 Gibson is like different than, you know what I mean? It's like all just interests and stuff like that. So that's how I got into watches.
When it comes to your kids, so your wife is good with money.
Yes.
Do you have kids?
No.
No. And do you want kids?
No.
Okay. So I love that.
Chapel Roan over here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Mom sucks.
Yeah. My wife was
That's the
so
clip.
fucking raised about that Chapel Roan quote.
I didn't even see that one, but everyone, she
made a quote that was like, anybody that has kids is miserable. And we were driving and Danielle read that and was like, miserable? Does she know how hard it is to be a mother? And I was like, calm down.
You're proving too much of a point.
It's like, well, lady doth protest, you know? It's like,
you're supposed to say, you know how beautiful it is to interact with these kids. I'm not miserable.
Yeah, but it's like, but it's also, it's okay to be miserable. I think, you know,
I know some childless people who are miserable.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think misery is due to situation in that way.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like
a bigger conversation.
It's an inside job.
It's more that I spent my 30s in a Speedo in a hot tub smoking weed, so I couldn't and drinking yellow number 5. So
all that Mountain Dew.
So you're shooting blanks.
Yeah, I'm shooting blanks.
That's tough, so you can't even sell it. Yeah. I got a lesbian sister. She's looking for a load.
Really? I can give her one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, pay the big bucks.
I can't even walk by my wife without sprouting a kid.
Oh, that's so good.
And can you grab the jar from my bag in the green room?
You know what? You know what, Ann? It's been kind of a tense month. You might want to grab the barrel.
The sperm market is so crazy though because
really?
I should say I'm invested heavily in the sperm market.
Yeah,
you should.
I'm in the spider, the NASDAQ, and the jizz.
That's the JIZZ.
Yeah, the JIZZ. It's an Arabian market.
Yeah. And by the way, guys,
Al Jazeera.
It's so funny. Yeah, that's my ticker. Gay men can't donate sperm to that's why I changed the conversation.
Wait, why can't gay men donate
to
sperm?
Traditional sperm banks? I don't know. And they can't donate blood because of because
of the
AIDS,
that is so archaic.
So archaic, and wild. So, and now, my blood pressure just got raised from that. I just when that same feeling when you're a kid when someone's tells you what you can and can't do.
Yeah,
I just got that same thing.
But also, you can't do this thing that is objectively helpful for people. It's
Fuck that.
That's the weirdest kind of discrimination.
People are so dumb.
But now
black people can't be nurses. It's like what?
Yeah.
Why are we making these choices?
I'm that's not true.
No, that's not true.
I hope not. Yeah. But now there's new startups that are democratizing it. And my sister and her wife found one from these other lesbians made it. And they
made the sperm?
They made the sperm. They made the startup and they
lab grown
and they have all these, it's gay men who are giving the sperm. And so they've they look amazing. They're gorgeous.
The sperms look good. They're
sperms
perfectly.
Are looking so good.
David Barton. They're like the poster of David Barton.
And I had to tell her because all of the pictures are so yassified, because it's they're gorgeous. And I'm they
sperm.
definitely did a cut before they did their headshots to see if you would buy their sperm. They're good at the whole aesthetic thing. And
it's only a matter of time. This is so perfect for the gay community.
They're
about to box heterosexual men out of getting women pregnant. The one thing heterosexual, and I'm happy for it. But gay men are so funny. They're just yeah, we can also do that. And you're oh,
they can do anything.
Right. Yeah.
But it's also cool because they reframed the relationship between the donor and the
recipient.
Yeah. So now they have a relationship with their donor.
Cool.
Which they can decide how much they want it to
an
be.
Amy Heckerling movie.
Yes, and this could be,
starring Mark Ruffalo and Judy Greer.
Oh my God, that's such a good combo. There you go. That's why they pay the big bucks.
Can't wait to see it.
Cut that out so that we can sell that.
Cut that out, starring Adam Pally and Ellie Kemper.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done for $1? People are selling plasma. They sell their sperm.
Oh my God, I
sell sandwiches.
Oh, true.
There was a movie that came out 15 plus years ago called Balls of Fury. That was like a kind of ping pong comedy.
Thomas Lennon, right?
Thomas Lennon's in it. The lead is Dan Fogler, and he's like a heavyset bearded guy. I got hired to work 3 weekends in a month dressing up as this guy and handing out ping pong balls and Solo cups that were branded with Balls of Fury stuff at bars with a woman who is dressed with another woman activator who's dressed as like a sort of traditional Asian stereotype. And we had to, it was $100 a night or $125 a night. And if we did all 9 nights, we got a $2,100 bonus.
Whoa.
And I was like, fuck, and this is like the year 2008 or whatever, and I'm broke as fuck. And I'm like, we have to do this. After like 4 nights of like me defending her from being harassed by like drunk college kids in the East Village and me being like, what am I doing out dressed in this fucking like short shorts? And people are like, hey, fuck you, man. Like pulling your wig off and shit. I'm like, what am I doing? And then I quit. And I'm like, now I know why those motherfuckers put a $2,100 bonus because nobody finishes.
That. Yeah, no one's making that.
So that's one of the worst things I've done for money. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had to do a prank show.
I thought this was a prank show.
So did I.
We don't know who we're pranking, but,
but it keeps happening.
I can't tell if it's the crowd, us,
There's
the
never
producers.
a reveal. It's just every day. I had to do a prank show early on in my career where I had to tell a classroom full of musical scholarship kids that the music department was being shut down.
No.
Jesus.
Wait, what?
And then at the end of the episode, they would find out that in fact it wasn't being shut down, that they were getting a grant, and then the All-American Rejects were going to play a set for them. Like,
well, that's great.
That's like a double prank.
it was it was not great.
You broke our heart for a sec.
First of all, they had to listen to the American Rejects.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Shut the music program down.
But doing the job was the worst thing I've ever had to do because you're not paid when you're I've gone on this before. Prank shows are the lowest form of comedy. It's punked is the lowest form of entertainment. And
they just stress me out so much.
I love it, and it's awful.
Yeah, I don't mind watching it, but like
candid camera, like that shit. That was like, but when it starts to get like malicious, and
like, when it's like people being like, you know,
like your scholarship is gone. That's
and so these kids are musical scholarship, right? Which means that in other areas, if you think of like traditionally kids with musical scholarships, maybe they aren't as equipped, like socially. So when you have a microphone in your ear and they're like, tell them that it's their fault that the string section is being removed. And you're like staring at this kid who's like quivering, like being like, why are you taking away our instruments?
Pranking kids is rude.
It was,
too.
What show was this for?
It was called like Schooled or something. It was like, it was a gig. It was just a gig that you had that. You know, and I beat out like a ton of people, like everybody auditioned for
right.
it.
And then at the time, you're like, oh, okay, that's not a bad payday. Wait, what do I have to do?
It was not even a good payday. I think it was like $700 for the day.
Yeah.
You know,
which is a good payday, but not in the grand scheme of things.
For what I had to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the other actress.
There's probably there's so many people watching right now. It's like, I'll tell a kid he's fucking gonna die. For
but like the other actress walked off mid thing because you had she was playing the other teacher. You had like a thing in your ear.
Yeah.
And they were telling her like, you know, make him play for the thing. Tell him to play right now, and if it's good enough, he can keep it. And the kid was like, you know, and she was like, I can't do it. And she's like talking to the thing, you know, and it's like kids are like, what's going on? And then they shut down production for like 5 minutes because it was like weird. It was like seeing a Disney character without the head. Yeah. And then the actress left. She's like, I can't.
Better person than you.
Yeah.
Way better. I was like, I need that $700, but it was one of the first times where you're really, you know, when you're young and you get into this business, you're like, it's all glitz and glam and big lights and like you're just excited to do anything. And then you realize like the true underbelly of everything in this business, the true underbelly is how much will you do for money?
Sell your soul.
It doesn't matter.
We're like, human C-stands.
It's like how much will you do for this dollar is the base of the industry. And some people can...
Isn't that for any industry?
No, because the skills.
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but it's more that we're attaching our.
Yeah.
Your name is not against it.
True.
You know, like you sit at a desk and you're like, oh, this sucks, but like, you know, the company is the one that is responsible. Yeah, this is you.
Yeah.
So there's a certain element of like every single job, whether it's we talk about this a lot, whether it's like you're the Tom Cruise or you're the background actor on a movie, it is all about what will you degrade yourself to do for that money at that moment. And
it's a beautiful industry.
And spin in a way that comes out looking glorious.
But I feel like that goes back to your like feelings around your career too, which is like what you said at the beginning of the show, where you're so cautious about not doing things that are connected as much to the paycheck.
Yeah. Well,
not being like not
that's the goal. I think for me at least, I mean, that's the goal, right?
I'm down to do stuff for the paycheck.
Yeah, like I will.
Those offers aren't bending.
I will do stuff for the money, and I do stuff for the money. I don't really get that.
Has that changed since you had kids?
No, because my career hasn't changed. Like if. Like Jon was saying, like I will do stuff for money for sure. I love to do stuff for money, and I like the work.
Guys, think about that. Like if you have offers, Adam is down.
Yeah, reach out.
Reach out. And you know what? They know that.
Yeah, good.
Which is sad. But
one-on-one, like he'll meet up with you.
I will do anything for money, but I really try hard, and I feel like that's the only way that you sustain is if you're like. There needs to be some sort of through line from thing to thing.
I said no to $100K last week. Good
for you.
Yeah, for a deal that was like all about, I hate girl math. And I don't know why they offered me this money, but it was like, I was a huge proponent against girl math, like literally in the news being like, this just makes it seem like women are so bad with money. Math? Girl math is like, I'm returning a package that I paid for, and because I'm getting that $100 credit from Zara.
Is it essentially like boy dinner?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you seen those memes?
Yeah, exactly. Like boy dinner, like
or
whatever.
Like girl dinner is like a martini, a Caesar salad.
And a boy dinner is like yesterday's pizza.
Yeah, it just like dumbs down. It basically is like, how are women tricking themselves into like being bad with their finances? Like girl math, like, if I return that package and then I get that $100 credit, then I have $100. Right. Girl math, and it's like, no, that's your money.
I can understand that logic. I'm a victim of it too.
Of course, but it's not something to own.
No, it's definitely not something to attach to a gender.
I know.
Yeah, and it's super. It's like that. That is the base level of like what we all struggle with every day is like the idea in our head is like, is this worth what? Do I have enough? You know what I mean? Like to then be the face of a campaign for that. I know.
And they were like obviously going to put spend behind it. And I was just like, ooh, like not me though.
I'm very proud of you. I don't know if
100K is a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I have a really good, I really believe in money as like energy, and I have a really good relationship to it in terms of like my abundance and my ability to attract it.
Wow. That's really nice.
Whoa, yeah. I like that.
You're almost like putting out, it's like you're almost like manifesting.
I'm really
money.
good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can do it. I'm like, and also I know the work that I do is valuable.
Right. So you have a skill.
Yeah. And so it's like I'm never, of course it would be great to have that money, but it's like what you're saying sort of like, you got to see the forest through the trees. Like if I do that, then I'm degrading the brand that I've worked 8 years to build, and that will ultimately pay me so much more than 100K.
Well, if you're on your 7-year cycle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's, it's hard. I mean, the paychecks can be blinding, but it's like, I say no to a lot of stuff because especially with like financial influencing, people want you to do so many things that are just not good for other people's money. And the reason that I'm in the game is not, it's sort of similar to you, and like where it's not as much like, of course, making money is this amazing part of it. And I love money and I love having money. But if it all
butts up against like your belief and then you lose any credibility, like it's not worth it, because then like people are like, well, Mrs. Dow Jones, she's in big girl math's pocket or whatever.
Yeah, she's the face of girl math. It's like, no, that actually just makes me seem like I'm so bad with money.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. So
wait, let's do our stereotypical question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You guys have segments.
We have one. We don't have any segments. we have one.
I was wondering what we were doing
one
here.
written question we ask our guests. The rest is all just bullshitting and
we try just to keep it to have it feel like as like.
I love the show. You're so good together. Can I also? How'd you guys meet?
We're supposed to be asking you questions.
Sorry.
It's an app.
Much like my money, I don't like to talk about it.
Yeah, you really are cagey. I was trying to get some Sirius put me in here. I'm trying to get the social pumping.
Truly.
Adam's
You're putting more effort into the show than us in a way that I'm like analyzing what I do.
It only hurts me if this show goes viral.
That's true. We wouldn't want that.
No.
Try to keep it niche.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're trying to have a micro audience.
That's why I try to get my TV shows canceled after one season.
So good. I was wondering about that.
Keep my career niche.
Yes.
Yeah. Mrs. Dow Jones.
Yes.
What do you do to stay alive?
Okay, love this. To stay alive.
Whatever that might mean for you. Yeah. Some people have mentioned what they do for their mental health, physical health.
Yeah.
What they eat, what they make sure they do every day.
I do shit that I don't want to do.
Wow.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
So what don't you want to do?
Oh, my
besides
God.
be here.
And she's like, obviously I do shit I don't want to do all the time.
I'm looking at YouTube, folks.
I just feel like anything in life that like actually has an ROI is so difficult.
What's
like,
an ROI?
Like a return on investment.
Why is it a Y?
ROI.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
you're
I was like,
hearing
rookie
my
of the
accent.
year.
You know I have different accents.
Where are you from?
Upper East Side.
Are you from the Upper East?
Yeah.
Where?
90th Street.
Where were you born?
Upper East Side, Manhattan.
Lenox Hill?
Yeah, to Mount Sinai.
Oh, Lenox Hill.
Yes. Oh, you're
Stuyvesant Town.
Whoa, New Yorker.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
love it.
Long Island.
Mercy Hospital in Rockville Center.
Okay, heaven.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So what is your accent change? Like, what does it go from 60th to 72nd?
Exactly. And now I live in Brooklyn. So
Where in Brooklyn?
In Dumbo.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, you're getting those.
Yes. The
Do you do a lot of your
pictures?
influencing?
Yes. By the bridge.
Can you write off your apartment because of it?
Oh, I write off everything. Yes. We write off a lot of
I
things.
live in Harlem and I can't even write off the dog shit that's not picked up.
Also, you didn't even tell us that you're a real estate investor. I mean, you said you bought an apartment, but buying in Harlem is, it's a good area.
I own a house.
Oh, okay. He's got a townhouse.
I don't like to talk about it, but
Do you have room for him?
Of course I have room for him. He stays all the time.
I love
there
that.
frequently. Yeah.
So wait,
because I rent in West Hollywood, Los Angeles.
Which is
how has
very
your
expensive.
relationship changed since you had kids?
It hasn't.
Ours, personally?
Because like women, when you're in a female friendship and one of you has kids, it's really hard because women are, I think, taking care of the kids so much more. But it's like for men, what is that like? Because
Well,
now you just have to hang out with him with the kids, probably.
Which I've known his, obviously, like I always joke with them. I'm like, I'm like when I say to your daughter, I'm like, I've known Cole longer than you have. Like I've known your older brother longer than, because I've known them since zero, all of them.
yeah.
You know?
We were put on an improv team together at 21.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So we grew up
literally in like 05.
Yeah,
like
we
20
grew up.
years ago.
We grew up together, and kind of our families then became close, and so nothing changed really in that way.
And our relationship is also like we got a lot of work and comedy that we get to do, which is kind of like a kid exclusive where it's like at night or something.
Yeah.
when we're hanging out, it's like the kids aren't always around. So it's the relationship is truly...
The main way our relationship changed is that if we FaceTime or Zoom for any business meetings, he's in the car driving one of his kids somewhere.
Yeah.
That's like the main change in our relationship is that he's...
During the day.
He's during the day, he's
You're a nanny.
taxiing a kid somewhere.
I like to call myself
maybe.
a duber.
Oh,
I'm a
okay, I
dad
love that.
Uber.
I love that. Where do they go to school?
They go to school on the Upper West Side.
Oh, I went to Columbia Prep.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, we're looking at it.
Don't go there.
We're looking at. I mean, there's so
For
many.
John Rich, yeah.
There's so many options,
don't.
but private school is expensive.
Yeah, you don't need it, I don't think, until
Well,
high school maybe. But
High school, I think we need it.
high school, good. But then I think I sort of feel like until then you're good.
We're doing the best we can. We're piecing it together. But
I really like what you said,
Sorry,
though.
I'm more ADHD than you guys.
No, don't
no,
worry
you're
about
not.
it. Don't worry
I
about
keep
it.
up.
did you take your medicine today? Because then you might.
course.
All right, so me too. So that was like maybe you are. But
Yeah, no. I just
I'm
took it to
just
its fresh.
hungover. Yeah.
Okay,
so
yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, so
actually kind of settles me in
So
more
when you say
focus.
you're doing
Anything
something
hard.
you're doing like Like, what's
I think
hard?
that you don't want to do, that's what keeps me alive.
Do you like working out?
No, I don't like working out. I work out with the most intense trainer ever who's literally like got me doing weights and lunges.
What
and
are you
like,
doing? 1, 2, 3 times a week?
I do 3 times a week, which is not crazy. But
gym in your building?
Gym in my building.
But based
so
on your attitude towards exercise, 3 times a week is a lot for you.
Well, but I've always been like, I was a rower in college. Like, I like working out, but weights, I just think are like, it's sort of like the worse that something is, the better it is for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone is like, I mean, some people maybe are in the gym and they're like, this is so exciting, but it's not like going to a workout class where you're stimulated, whatever. It's boring. You're thinking about every single rep, whatever, but then your back feels better. You're in better shape. You've got muscle, whatever. That's good for you. Same with investing or being good with your finances. Do you think that I want to have a money date every fucking month with my money and like look through my spending and my bank?
Talk to us about this. A money date. This actually sounds like something I could use.
You should do this. I do this every month. It's a Mrs. Dow Jones like pillar. And it's, because you have to drop an anchor with your finances. If you don't know money is a relationship. So it's like, if you want to be in a relationship with someone, you got to take them on a date. You got to spend time with them, text them, whatever. Same thing with your money. You can't ignore, people think they can ignore their finances. Guess what? Rihanna did that. And that's when she wrote, "Bitch, better have my money," because she wasn't looking at her finances and an accountant stole all of it. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's like, if you got to have an eye on your bottom line or someone else will. And this could, now there's so many digital scams, all this shit. Like, you've got to be adamantly looking at things. But again, do you think I want to do that? No, of course not. I have to coerce myself. I have to what
do you do to, this is interesting, because we rarely have someone come on who's like, it sucks to do blank. What do you do to get yourself up to do your money date or to go to the gym when you know you have to go to hang out with your crazy ass trainer and you're like not feeling it? What are you telling yourself psychologically, or when you're like, I have to start making my avocado toast at home to really start saving money? Like, what do you tell yourself in these situations?
Well, with the working out, I think that's why I have I do a lot. I believe human capital builds financial capital. So it's like I've made an investment in my trainer because then it carries over to other parts of my life. I work really hard. I run a business. I'm doing a million things. And so, investing in that and having him, I'm not going to miss him because he's expensive.
Right. I kind of like that attitude too, where some people, I have a trainer once a week. That just keeps me, I know at least once a week I'll work out. You're hard. Go. I don't want to let them down. I don't want to pay them for a canceled session.
It's worth it. I love a coach. I love anything like that. Let's go. But yeah, with the money date, it's a set time every month that I just force myself to do it. And now that I've done it, I think a lot of it is just repetition, but you also have to bribe yourself. So it's like, okay, what snacks can I eat during it? What am I going to do after? Do I want to take a gummy before? Whatever it is, get yourself in the seat. Doesn't have to be perfect. And also it doesn't with anything hard that I do, it's the lead up that's the worst part. Once I'm in it, it's never that bad.
Right.
I'm here, it's good.
Yeah, but all morning you were dreading having to come talk to us, I imagine. Yeah.
So was I.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk about money.
I mean, we know. So I got no clips. But yeah, what do you guys do that you hate?
Well, that's interesting because I guess I kind of like the gym. But I don't push myself that hard at the gym, and then I realize
no, that's what I'm saying. This guy actually pushes me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think about what I hate is running, and I need to do
sprints and all this shit that's so hard.
Yeah,
I don't know if I hate.
Not hate. Hate may be the wrong word, but it's
doing something hard.
Ordering a salad instead of a sandwich is difficult.
Yeah, if you were going to indulge yourself 100% of the time, that to me would actually make my life worse. I would think in the moment that was really fun, but it's same thing with spending a lot of money. It's you think people impulse shopping. Oh, you're getting this buzz from it in the moment. I'm going to get that thing. Apple Pay, Apple be paying. No, then the bill comes and you're saddled with this anxiety of how you're going to pay it off.
Yes, completely.
Or even negotiating your salary. Women especially don't negotiate their salaries. We miss out on over $1 million over the course of our careers because we did not negotiate. Guess what? You want to spend 10 minutes of sweaty palms talking to your boss, being like, hey, did a great job this year. Can I have a raise? Cost of living, whatever. Or do you want to miss out on $1 million? That's something that's hard for some people, but is going to pay off.
Yeah, sending that email to a contact could seem hard, but with the you're able to intellectualize the ROI, a word I also just learned now.
Yeah, Amortize and ROI, finance podcast.
Yeah, here we go. We're doing it. So you're able to know that, like, yes, this is difficult, but if I work out 3 days a week for a month, I feel better. If I feel better, I could work more. I can be better. I'm healthier. My back hurts less. My legs look good. Like,
exactly.
et cetera. Yeah. Because there's that element of, like, especially with, like, people who are public facing, even if I'm not ripped, if I go to the gym for like 2 weeks in a row and eat healthy, I feel so much better that I'm more comfortable in front of people, and I
100%.
I feel
I'm on
better
camera
about
every
myself.
single day. Like, it's like and I'm critical of myself. So it's like things like that, like, it helps.
Yeah.
You know? Therapy?
Of course I do therapy, but I actually now I do.
I think if you're born on the Upper East Side, your birth certificate comes with a therapist contact.
Your parents' therapist?
My grandpa was a psychiatrist.
There you go.
My great-grandpa was a rabbi. My grandpa was a psychiatrist. My dad is a financial, private wealth manager. And then I'm Mrs. Dow Jones.
And I married.
Yes, exactly.
Born to talk.
Born to talk, and I think, like, my dad.
Listen. Born to talk and listen. Rabbis,
exactly.
therapists.
Exactly. Jewish.
Financial advisors.
Yeah.
All the fields we were allowed to work in.
That's like Mount Jewish
there
more.
We go.
Yeah.
High five,
And me, the actor-producer, we do it all.
Yes, there you go. Shabbat shalom. My work here is not done. Like,
No, you got hired today.
Yeah.
You got hired today.
Like, okay, like, did we leave on a good note? I don't know.
We left on a great note.
We left on a great
Dow
note. We
Jones.
mentioned Judaism, so we're getting out safe.
Thank you
again,
Jones.
Mrs. Dow Jones.
Thank you guys for having me.
One of the things that she was saying was, like, do something difficult every morning. Talking about money is difficult for me. I don't like thinking about money. I like talking about money.
I'll tell you what, though, Mrs. Dow Jones makes it a little easier.
Yeah,
because you could just listen about money.
Yeah. You don't have to talk. You just listen.
Well, I mean, this was a case of, like, we're recording 2 episodes today, so we had to say, like, I would have done another hour with Mrs. Dow Jones. I had like 50. We have 50 more money questions. It's crazy.
But I really love her. I think so often when I've had those conversations with money people, there's a sense of, like, batten down the hatches, get your shit together, don't spend any more money. And she was like, no, figure out a way to make more.
Yeah.
And that is like the grind mindset that I love.
There's a ceiling to how much you can cut, but there's no ceiling to how much you can earn. I'm going to take that to heart.
True.
And it's kind of hard to figure out how to earn more in our industry. It's like, I hope people like me more. You just work harder.
Work harder. Yeah, but, like, we are creative minds.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. I think about that all the time. Like, especially when something doesn't go right or whatever. It's like I often am like, oh, people are rejecting me. They don't like me. But it's not just me. It's like all the stuff I bring to the table, and who knows what my next thing is that someone may really like,
Yeah, and let's just fucking keep doing it.
I hope so. Then maybe it's this.
Hey, well, there's only one way to find out, because we have an episode coming out next week, so that means we have to stay alive.
Do you have to go to the bathroom? You're hustling me out.
My fingers are in my ass blocking. I should be okay.
You're hustling me out.
And why don't we just stay alive?
Oh, God. Change the chair again.
Used to be, by the way.
Oh, great. In New York?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wait, who are your teachers?
Yes,
God.
I am. No, I forgot.
You forget them?
Yeah, no, but I did. I started as a stand-up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But hey, then you meet the Dow Jones. He sweeps you off your feet. And you're like, I no longer need stand-up. I'm married to the market.
Exactly.
Later, Bishop, stand up. I'm with Dr. Dow Jones.